these. So, a little explanation before I start. It's really hot out, and that skating scene took too long to film. One second. Okay, so, for everybody that doesn't know, I'm Sean. I used to make videos like this where I talk to the camera every now and then. They weren't very popular. I did it because I liked it, and then I stopped because of life and all kinds of stuff. But I just moved back to Miami, so I'm excited to be doing more long form like this. And now, because of Instagram, where I post the most often, allows long form content, so I can do up to 10 minutes. So expect more stuff like this. If you hate it, let me know. If you love it, let me know. Either way, like, I want to know what's going on. Skating again. I'm going to finish this review at home because that is a really, really big problem and I don't want to get rained. Made it home, and it stopped raining almost immediately. It's beautifully sunny outside, but I'm going to film here anyway because I'm done and then go back out when I'm finished. I'm just going to do the whole thing at this angle right here. Okay, that's better. No more water in the sky, nothing like that. Camera's not going to get ruined. So we're okay. I'm basically going to list some pros, some cons, let you decide for yourself. I'm just going to give my perspective, you know, that's all I can really do. So number one, and the most important for me personally, is size. This thing's super tiny. It's literally smaller than my phone. I really can't beat that. I used to fly a Phantom all the time, and for perspective, this is the Spark. This is the case I used to use for my Phantom. It's super heavy and giant, and the TSA hates it, and they basically just think you have a bomb all the time. Not cool. The Spark, on the other hand, and its controller, both fit into my backpack, are super tiny and super easy to use. It takes a couple minutes to set up, and you're all good, you're in the air, you're flying. Fantastic, good job DJI. So number two and number three kind of go together. That would be charging. So with the Phantoms, the big guys, the Inspire, even something like the Mavic that folds down small, you still need an AC adapter, like this one, to charge the batteries. With the Spark, you can either take it off and charge with the little pads right here. You can do 3 at a time. Or, when it's plugged in, you can open the back and there's a micro USB port, which means you can charge it off of a backup battery, which pretty much everyone has in their backpack nowadays. I have a small 10,000 milliamp one that's about that big. That can charge it twice. So now instead of having to lug around 3 giant Phantom batteries, I can just take this guy right here, my backup battery, and be all set for the day. The controller does the same thing as well. It charges through micro USB, and it takes like an hour or so to charge, and you can fly it 7 or 8 times after that. Fantastic. Number 4, and this is mostly a personal one, is the noise. So when I compare it to something like a Phantom, that thing attracts a lot of attention. As soon as you bust that out and the propeller starts spinning and it's beeping at you to signal its GPS locations and its return to home being set and everything, that thing's loud. It's big, it's bright white. You basically, if you're in any kind of a populated area, you get a crowd of people surrounding you almost immediately on turning it on. The Spark, on the other hand, is small enough that once you take it out, you can basically get it up in the air before anybody notices, and even if they do, they're not really concerned because it looks like a toy. It's a nice thing to have, especially when you're like me and you like to go skateboarding by yourself through Miami with all of your camera gear on you and you really don't want to attract that kind of attention. It's just nice, honestly. And then the fifth, and probably the most important for most people, is the price. So I got a really good deal on mine. It was a local drone shop. I basically got it for like 350 bucks brand new, which when you compare to like I've been doing, which is kind of fair, a Phantom, which is $1,400 to $1,500, it's a great deal. You can get into drones whether you've never flown one before or if you have a lot of experience very easily. It's not obviously a little bit of money. It's $350, you know, that's a decent chunk of change, but it's a lot easier to shell out than that $1,400 or $1,500, especially when it's something that you're flying in the air, will probably go over water, will probably hit a tree. If it's your first one, you're gonna crash it. I've gone through 2 already, trust me. They go down no matter how good you are. So it's a little bit easier to bite that bullet when you're looking at $350 versus $1,500 for something that you're probably gonna break if it's your first one. So number one, and this goes for all my photographer and videographer friends out there, if you're just looking for something to fly for fun, this probably won't matter very much to you, but that's video quality. The Phantom can do up to 4K, 30 frames per second, which is fantastic. It's a beautiful image. It's great, captures all the detail you want, lots of adjustment later on, fantastic. The Spark has this little camera in the front that shoots 1080p, which is full HD, and it looks pretty good. It's not a bad 1080p, but my thought process behind it is, if the camera's this big and my phone camera is that big, why can't I get 4K on this guy? Now, it doesn't matter too much because I'm not uploading at 4K, I'm not processing at 4K, I can't even watch anything at 4K. My monitor is only 1080p, so that doesn't make a big difference. But it is something to keep in mind if you want to do it seriously. And again, this is comparing it to something that's literally 5 times the price. So take what you will from that. And then last but not least is the gimbal itself. So the Spark has what's called a 2-axis gimbal. If you look at there, it goes up and down and rotates left to right. That's great if you're not doing too complicated shots. You can basically pan up and down, and that's kind of it. The other direction is just for stability, so you don't see it vibrate. Every other DJI drone has a 3-axis gimbal. That means it goes up and down, left and right, and rotates on that axis as well. What that means is you can pan into shots while you're in the air, you can straighten the footage if you're flying at a bit of an angle due to wind, little things like that. Again, details that if you're buying this as a toy or as your first drone or to not film seriously, you're probably not even going to notice. But for my friends out there that do want to do it professionally, it is something you should be aware of because it will make a difference, and it's already something I've run into in the week that I've owned this. Long story short, I really like it. If you want to do it professionally, it's probably not your best bet. If you want to fly something for fun as your first drone, or if you already have one and are tired of lugging a giant contraption around with you, fantastic, 10 out of 10, do recommend. Let me know how terrible this is, let me know how great this is, I want to know everybody's opinion. I think that I kind of have a unique perspective on this kind of stuff, and I have a lot of friends that do ask me, Jesus, it's so loud here. I have a lot of friends that do ask me for recommendations on drones and cameras and lenses and all kinds of fun stuff like that. So if it didn't suck, let me know. If it did suck, you know what to say. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time, and enjoy a time lapse of this very pretty sunset that's behind me right now.